Hey Spikers to me, or Demos Alliance, it's me, Spikers with Says here. Coming to a video. In this video, I am creating 4 My Hero Academia OCs. They're all sound-based powers. I got this idea, like I already stated, from my my video announcements. I got this idea while watching a Izujiro series. Izuku's quirk was based on sound. I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I made 4 quirks for 4 people. The quirks are vocal, followed by pitch, frequency, and then sound. Yeah, they're all sound-based, and there's literally one that's called sound. And sound's actually the strongest out of them all. So, anyways, let's hear what I gotta say about the lore. So without further ado, let's roll intro and let's get into this video, and let's go. Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Okay, so it's me, the Infomaniac, and I am coming back with some more interesting people. All these are people that have gone through UA around a year ago or so. So they're pro heroes now, and they've been pro heroes for around 1 or 2 years. First one, and for the record, their hero name is actually, funny enough, Band. They are also known as the musical heroes or the musician heroes. Basically, they are parts of. They each symbolize their own part of their band, like a remixer, someone who creates the beats, and someone who sings. The first one is named Vocal. They have 2 vocal-based. Well, pretty much they're all vocal-based, but this one actually depends on how loud he speaks. A simple yelling is like a giant screech. That is why he pretty much wears his that mouth guard at all times. It has little holes in it that actually help muffle his voice. Still very audible and very hearable. It can still disorient people if he speaks loud enough. But yeah, but if he takes it off and he starts talking his regular voice, it's really loud. It's loud enough to really disorient someone. But if he starts breathing in and out and goes in for a big breath, you better want to run behind a cover and cover your ears with the nearest thing that has the best chances of canceling out a whole lot of noise. Because his shriek attack can actually cause your eardrums to bleed because of how loud it is. So, yeah. And this guy, when he's off duty of being a hero, he's known to be with his other 3 siblings, pretty much just being a band. They have a side hustle that they are band members. It's known to the public, but they don't know who's who. Name is Utao, which is their last name, and his first name is Bukaru. And his hero name is Vocalist. Quirk Vocal. I already told you all of his abilities. But while in UA, he actually was he was studying under, well, him and his entire siblings. They're called quadruplets for the record. They all lived under their families. They all worked under Jiro for a while. Jiro, the earphone jack Zero. Her abilities actually reconcile with theirs quite a bit, and her husband Dinky and the others can get along pretty well because they're all pretty silly, but they're all can be really serious, just like Jiro and Dinky. They can be silly at times, but when the time needs to be, they can be really serious. Like I'm talking, they can be so serious it can create a very thick atmosphere. They once had to save some kids. That raid I told y'all about, there were some other members of the attack that they went on. That raid was also with these people. They met the Zodiac children, like that for the record. And let's just say it was very, very nasty. From the information I can gather from some interviews that I gave him, just a simple back and forth email, only can answer a few questions, and some other things I could find. He caused around 15 of the members he encountered. He encountered 20 in total. He caused them all to practically nearly lose all hearing and at least one ear. And about 5 of them are completely deaf now. So, you can say their days of following orders are pretty much over. Unless they learn sign language and it shows that their boss. But, seeing how the villainous world is, it's kind of hard to say. Unless the villain boss is a really nice guy, it's a hard no. I am very happy that Overhaul is dead. Yeah, Overhaul is dead. Eri, made sure of that. Eri, well, I'll tell you more about her in a minute, because that's where they team up with her. Now, I said they do team up with Eri. She actually, well, she's around a year or so older than them. Scratch that. I keep forgetting how old these people are. But they're all around 21 now, and around when Eri was 10 was when they were born. She's around 10 years older than them. She had to team up with them, and so we can see how it's going to happen. What happened exactly was, well, Overhaul escaped from Tartarus, and they needed help to capture him. They eventually cornered him, and this person I'm going to talk about, Utayu Pichi. Her name Singer. Cork pitch. Depending on the pitch of her, depending on how loud she speaks or her pitch, she can create weird effects. A lower pitch means something like a concussive blast, or a higher pitch is more of a sharp needle-like pain. It can do a lot of damage. And it helps for her to wear earphones and glasses because, well, after her core drawback is that her higher pitches actually cause her to go blind for a little bit. And so her lower pitches cause her eardrums to rupture. Due to it has some regenerative properties. It can heal some pretty minor bruises. But it can also regrow a missing arm within around a month. Pretty powerful, but not stupidly powerful, not instantaneous. But yeah, her stamina is pretty good because of how she is. Her hair is blue, just like her brother, just a little bit lighter. Her brother has more of a turquoise color. Well, she was the one who caused Overhaul's death by pure accident. Overhaul had taken a hostage and was threatening to slap them across the face. For those who don't know, Overhaul had Overhaul ability to deconstruct someone or something and reassemble it. So him threatening to slap someone, it's showing a lot because that guy's a germaphobe. She, knowing everything about Overhaul's abilities, she did her lowest concussive blast pitch, and that guy hit Overhaul so hard that he dropped her, and he went flying back into a wall. And the force from him hitting the wall was enough to cause, the wall to pretty much fall down and crush the guy. He died. Yeah. Eri was the main one because she was the main hero going over it. Because she was there as a healer to make sure no one really could get injured. She was going to reverse Overhaul to bring him to justice, but her trauma stopped her. She still suffers from some trauma, but it's better than it usually is. She has panic attacks whenever she even hears the name Overhaul, but they're minor and far and few in between. She can spend at least 1 hour talking about Overhaul before getting a pretty mild panic attack. But if you mention Overhaul 5 minutes after her mild panic attack, she'll go into a full-on, very extremely bad one. So, yeah, it ain't pretty. And trust me when I say it isn't, you don't want to be at the recipient end of her father or her friends. Yeah, her father's a Eraserhead. Now, Pitsy's mother, they all have the same mother for the record, like, because they're quintuplets. Well, she was more favored toward, the two girls, because they had very similar quirks to her quirk. It was also sound-based, but, meh. The two girls didn't really pay much mind to it. They still focused on their own family. And they're also each married to other people. To matter of fact, those 4 kids I told you about a few last time, that those raids. And, well, let's just say they're either engaged or married. 1 is married, 3 are engaged. No, wait, 2 are engaged and 1's dating the other. Like I said, there was, if I remember correctly, 4 children with all very powerful quirks. So, yeah, let's get to the next one. So, this last one, well, third one anyways, next one's the last one. Name is Otto. His first name is Shu Hashu. Shu Hashu. Your name is Beats. Quirk frequency. Depending on what kind of noise he makes with his mouth, like, depending on how loud it is as well, he can create some pretty interesting music rhythms. He's known to use his own quirk to make some music. He's the one who makes all the sound for the band. He's also a really, really good drummer, but he's also talented in remixing their music, so it sounds better. Yeah, he does a lot. In pitches, 1 is the secondary and backup singer, whereas what was it? Vocalist is the lead vocalist. He is the leader of their little group, for the record. Sorry about that. Well, let's just say him being strong is quite very good because of his hero costume. His hero costume is a little bit heavier because of what he wanted. What he wanted for his hero costume was 2 speakers and subwoofers on his shoulders. So those really, really ground him down. Those alone each weighed 25 pounds before being put on. Due to all the wiring and all that, it added another 5 to 10 pounds on each. So, yeah. This guy lifts 60 pounds daily. He also has blue headphones and blue glasses that, similar to his sister, but they're both, one's turquoise and one's a blue color. The turquoise are the earphones and the glasses are a blue color. They actually have a little sound wave going across to give you an idea how loud it can be. He also wears a mask at all times, to actually make sure his voice can actually travel into them. They're made as a support item. He can still take off the mask and do it himself, but they don't travel as far. So he can crank up the frequency of it, to crank it up and crank it lower, because he doesn't have that good of vocal range. He can just go somewhat higher or lower than average. So he sets down the frequency for higher ones. So he can send. He's also able to pretty much use something like sound waves to see where people are. He can also use it to tell the truth or not, but just like his sister Bitchy, he can also use it as a cuff to blast. So, yeah. And for his hero costume, they all have something resembling music parts on them. His two gloves, one have two pieces of music on them, two musical notes. His main chest, the main torso of his costume, is different shades of gray. His pants are shades of green. The outside are darker than the insides. Well, or the other way around, depending on each leg. One side is darker. One side on the outside is darker, and it's the same thing, except the inside is darker than the outside. The outside is darker on, well, you would see on the drawing I'm showing y'all. And then on his arms, the outside is a blue, and the inside is red. But for some reason on his left arm, it is actually 4. It's a weird thing. And just being said, he can hit like a truck. This guy has punched something, like one of those machines you can test to see how strong you are. This guy broke it directly off, punching it through a wall. Still not as strong as Saitama's. Like, I bursted it through multiple walls. He still is really strong. And combat that with him literally using actual metal drums for his drum set. Yeah, you can tell he's really strong. And he's also routinely denting them. So, yeah, let's get to the last one. And this last one is, well, their final sister. She's the second oldest, after vocalist. Her name is Otto. Her quirk is sound. Her hero name is Noisemaker. It's a very, very interesting quirk. She actually has the ability to fly, using her own voice. It's like an opera singer. She can, the lower or higher it is, the lower she goes down, the higher she goes up. But she can just say a word like flight, and she would actually start flying. She's also experimented, and someone said something like strength once, and she punched something. Her strength was multiplied by twice. So, yeah, it's a minor ability. But her main ability is that of her ability to create different noises of different animals. And also, pretty much make those things out of sound. Sound waves condense around and pretty much flow into an orb or whatever. And it literally causes the creature to be not a living, breathing, but a solid version of it made out of condensed sound waves. So, it running towards you, those would actually make it a lot more noise. And as long as she's making the same noise as the animal, the stronger it would get and the longer it would last. So she starts making a tiger's growl or roar noise. Within 5 minutes, a tiger would start condensing out of sound waves and, well, start forming. And then for the rest of the hour afterwards, she would have having a tiger helping her. So, yeah, stupidly powerful quirk. She's not the leader. She's more or less the guitarist. Since she is very well versed in the noises, she decided to pick up guitar. And after hearing the noises, after hearing the sound coming off of it, she was actually able to memorize it and pretty much recreate it. That's a other ability of hers. She can memorize sounds and recreate them real easily. And, well, she can talk normally. And for her hair costume, it's a very interesting one. The shoulders and the arms and legs are actually Christmas themed, whereas the rest of the torso is actually purple and blue. Her shoes are that of are gray. She actually wears headphones connected, and the wires go behind her head and go into her pocket, which is actually nearly welded shut. The cord's only able to pull from there, and you have to go inside the hero suit to pull out the phone or whatever. And it's a pretty much an endless playlist of any noise. She sometimes might accidentally forget a noise, or might need a new noise to learn to help with the whatever's going on. But also just creating music is sometimes playing. Music has a very weird thing on her cord. She's actually able to somewhat mimic her other siblings' quirks. However, her pitch, frequency, and vocals all condense into her quirk, it's really powerful. She can create beats. She can also, depending on how loud she speaks, she can even mimic her brother's screech attack. It's actually an ultimate move of hers called copied sound move, screech. And well, her brother asked her in an interview, why didn't you call yourself Mimic? Noise mimicry. She says, I don't really like it. Noisemaker just sounds better. And she was right. It fits her really well. Noisemakers are things that make lots of noise. And she makes lots of noise with both her instruments and her voice. And, well, let's just say she's also able to create musical notes out of thin air. It's a minor thing. It helps her visualize what kind of parts are going on. It actually helps the others too. They have a weird setup. Beat it in the back, and the guitarist is actually out front, in front of the two singers. When she sings, she creates the musical notes, so that way they know where they need to hit, what kind of notes they need to make. It helps them a lot, especially when performing. They are known to forget their notes and how to go. They're all able to read music really well because of their quirks. But that's all the people for today. Hope you all enjoyed today's video, because that's all the time I got for today. Until next time, subscribe today to join the Spy Coast Army or Team Muscle Alliance. Goodbye and peace out, everyone.